Hello, this is Howtoguitarvideos, and today I'm going to be discussing a power chord and what makes a power chord and all that jazz. So anyways, let's get straight into it. Alright, so say you have a power chord. So, well, to give you an idea, for people that don't know what it is, what a power chord is and how you finger the power chord. You would use the root note, which can be whatever note you want, but just for exampling purposes, I'm going to be using G, because that seems like a common one. Okay, so G is the 3rd fret low E string, so you use whatever finger you want to for that. Then you use your other finger to play the 5th fret A string, which would be a D, and then you'd also play the 5th fret D string, which would be a G, which is the octave higher G than the lower G you played previously on the 3rd fret low E string. So yes, and that makes up a power chord. Some people play it just the 3rd fret low E and the 5th fret A without the 5th fret D, without that. That's how some people play it. It gives it more of a fuller sound if you play it with in exampling purposes, the 5th fret D, so the octave higher, it gives it a fuller sound. And so, let's get into it. Okay, so you have the G, which is the root note, and you have the D, which is the 5th, and I'll explain what that means later. You have the 5th, which is D, and you have the G, which is the 8th, an octave higher. And so, to understand, if you don't know what a 5th and the 8th is, basically when you take a G scale, you can do this, or when you take the G and you play the G, G major, you would go up the scale, and basically, the 5th note in that scale, if you start from G, would be D. So if you think that through, 1, G, 2, A, 3, B, 4, C, and 5, D. So D would be the 5th, because the 5th note in the scale, 5. And then if you kept going up the G scale, you go D, 5th, and then E, 6th, and then F sharp, 7th, and then you'd be back at G, which is the 8th. So an octave higher is the 8th note. So that's what makes up a power chord. And basically, I don't know what else to say. I guess, yeah, you have and obviously you can make different chords, or different types of chords, with now knowing what the 1st, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 5th. Obviously you can create chords before you knew what those were, but now you have an idea of how to create those. So like if you wanted to create, like, I don't know what this would be, but it is it's the 3rd fret low E, the 3rd fret A, and 5th fret D. Basically that would be the G, the root note, the 1st note, then it'd be C, because that's the 3rd fret on the A string, that fret is the note C, and that would be the 4th, that would be the 4th note in the G scale, and then you'd have the G on the 5th fret D string, which would be the 8th note, so I mean it'd be an octave higher. So, yeah, and obviously you can move the power chord around anywhere, so if you want to do G, or no, sorry, if you want to do, A. So you take A, or actually, let's do a power chord on the A string. So let's say C. So you'd have the root note, which would be your 1st note, C. Then you'd go up in the scale, so C, 1st note, D, 2nd note, E, 3rd note, F, 4th note, and then G, 5th note. So you'd have C and G, that'd be the 1st and the 5th, and then you want the 8th, the octaves. You want the 8th note, which would be the octave, so that'd be another C. So you keep going. So now you know that G is the 5th in the scale you keep going to, then A would be the 6th, then B would be the 7th, and then the 8th would be C. So you play those 3 notes together, and that makes up a power chord. Thank you for watching. That's all for today. Bye.